10 Fastest Ways to Ruin Your Marriage Without Realizing It. They say most marriages don't end with a bang, but with a quiet fading. Not a single dramatic fight. Not a sudden betrayal. Just little things, repeated over time. Things that seem harmless, even normal. But one day, you look across the dinner table and realize you're strangers. You still live under the same roof. You still share responsibilities. But the warmth, the laughter, the deep knowing of each other? It's been chipped away, piece by piece. That's how love quietly disappears, not all at once, but through things we stop doing, or start doing, without even realizing they matter. Today, I want to share with you 10 of those things, the fastest ways to ruin your marriage, not to scare you, but to open your eyes to what can still be saved. Because when we recognize the damage early, we can begin to heal. Let's start with the first. 1. Stop listening. Start assuming. You know that moment when your partner sighs, but you don't ask why? Or when they say, "I'm fine," and you don't press gently to see if they really are? That's when the distance begins. One of the quickest ways to erode a marriage is to stop listening and start assuming. We assume we already know what they'll say. We assume we already understand. But assumptions are the termites of intimacy. They quietly eat away at trust, connection, and care. In Chicago, I met a couple during a retreat, Emily and James. Married 12 years, 2 kids, stable careers, but emotionally, they were miles apart. Emily confessed, "I stopped telling James how I feel because I knew he wouldn't really hear me. He'd just try to fix it or change the topic. And James? He thought everything was fine. I assumed she was just tired or stressed. I didn't think it had anything to do with us." See how that happens? When we stop listening, we stop being safe spaces for each other. And no marriage can survive without emotional safety. Listening isn't just about hearing the words, it's about showing, "I care enough to make space for your world. Even when it's messy. Even when I don't fully understand." So what can you do? Start small. Each evening, ask one simple question. What was the best or hardest part of your day? Then truly listen. No fixing, no rushing, just your presence. That question alone has helped more couples than I can count find their way back to one another. Because when someone feels heard, they start to open again. And from that place, love has a way of returning. 2. Keeping score like it's a competition. In marriage, keeping score doesn't make you a winner, it makes both of you lose. Still, many couples fall into this trap without realizing it. "I did the dishes 3 times this week, what did you do?" "I said sorry first last time, it's your turn now." It sounds harmless, but this kind of mental accounting quietly turns your relationship into a competition. And love cannot thrive where there's a scoreboard. I once spoke with a husband named Tom from Manchester. He told me how he started tracking all the little things he did, laundry, childcare, errands, because he felt his wife never noticed. But instead of asking for appreciation, he began pointing out her shortcomings during arguments. It didn't bring them closer. It made her feel attacked. Resentment grew. Eventually, she shut down emotionally. Keeping score breeds bitterness. It's a sign that you don't feel seen, and instead of speaking from the heart, you tally deeds. But in a healthy marriage, love is not measured. It's offered freely. Some weeks you'll give more. Some weeks they will. That's not imbalance, it's partnership. So what's the antidote? Appreciation. The next time you feel like keeping score, try this instead. Say, "Thank you for doing that. I noticed." Gratitude breaks the cycle of resentment. And over time, your partner starts noticing you more too. Because kindness, unlike scorekeeping, is contagious. 3. Prioritizing everything but each other. It's easy to fall into the rhythm of busy. Work, kids, bills, groceries, emails. Life doesn't stop. But somewhere between surviving the schedule and meeting obligations, Couples often forget to choose each other. Your spouse becomes the background music to your life instead of the song you dance to. And slowly, love begins to feel like an afterthought. In Berlin, I met a couple, Lucas and Marie. Parents to twins, both in demanding careers. Their calendar was full, but their hearts were running on empty. We used to lie on the couch and just talk. Marie said, now we're roommates with checklists. Lucas admitted, I didn't even realize we hadn't had a real date in over a year. Here's the truth. Love doesn't disappear because of conflict, it fades because of neglect. If you don't water a plant, it wilts. If you don't invest in your marriage, it withers too. So even if your days are packed, create sacred time. It doesn't need to be fancy. 15 minutes of undivided attention. A walk. A no-phone dinner. A lazy Sunday morning with coffee and eye contact. The world will always demand more of you. But your marriage is not just another task, it's the foundation of your life. Choose it. Protect it. Even in the chaos. Especially in the chaos. 4. Talking only about logistics, not feelings. Marriage can start to feel like a boardroom if you only talk about logistics. Who's picking up the kids? Did you pay the electricity bill? What's for dinner? Practical conversations are necessary, yes, but when they become the only conversations, emotional connection disappears. And without emotional connection, you're not partners, you're coworkers. I once worked with Anna and Miguel, a couple from Lisbon married for 9 years. Their communication was functional, but flat. We talk every day, Anna said, but I can't remember the last time he asked how I'm really doing. Miguel was stunned. I thought we were good because we didn't fight. He said, but silence isn't peace. It's often a quiet signal that something deeper is missing. Feelings are the bridge to intimacy. And when you stop crossing that bridge, love becomes distant. You don't need hours of deep talks every day. You just need to make space for feeling. A simple question like, what made you smile today? Or, what's been heavy on your heart this week? Can open a door you didn't even realize was closed. So take a breath, pause the schedule, and ask something real. Let your spouse be more than just the co-manager of your home. Let them be your person again, the one you share not just a house with, but a heart. 5. Ignoring intimacy and affection. Intimacy isn't just about sex. It's also the quiet touch on the back as you pass in the hallway. The goodnight kiss even when you're tired. The shared glance across a crowded room that says, you're still my person. And when those little gestures begin to fade, so does the closeness they once nurtured. In Copenhagen, I spoke with a woman named Elise. She told me, we haven't held hands in months. I miss it, but I don't know how to bring it back without feeling awkward. Her husband, Eric, later said, I thought she didn't need that anymore. Isn't that heartbreaking? Both craving connection, but silently pulling away out of fear or misunderstanding. Intimacy is not a luxury in marriage, it's oxygen. And affection isn't just for the beginning, it's what sustains the middle and softens the hard days. The danger is assuming that once you're married, your love doesn't need maintenance. But even the strongest marriages need reminders. I still want you. I still choose you. So start small. Touch their arm when you speak. Hug for longer than 2 seconds. Say, I love you, out loud even if you think they already know. These aren't grand gestures, they're threads that hold your bond together. Don't wait for the passion to magically return. Reignite it, gently, one kind moment at a time. 6. Letting resentment pile up. Resentment rarely shouts, it simmers. It starts with a hurt you don't voice. A disappointment you swallow. A moment when you say, it's not worth bringing up. But over time, those unsaid things stack up like bricks, slowly building a wall between you and the one you love. And when resentment grows, love has no space to breathe. I met a couple in Toronto, Michael and Priya, who looked perfect on paper but were emotionally stuck. Priya said, I've been holding on to little things for years. The way he dismisses my ideas. Forgets our plans. I never said anything because I didn't want to start a fight. But what she didn't realize was, avoiding conflict doesn't prevent damage. It just delays the explosion. Unspoken hurt doesn't go away. It leaks into tone, posture, and distance. And one day, a small comment triggers a reaction that feels way bigger than the moment. That's the power of unprocessed pain. It grows silently until it screams. The solution? Don't let things fester. Create safe spaces to talk, not during a fight, but in calm moments. Practice saying, "Can I share something that's been on my heart?" And when your partner speaks, don't defend, just listen. Healing starts when pain is witnessed, not judged. Your marriage isn't fragile because of conflict. It becomes fragile when silence replaces honesty. 7. Criticizing instead of appreciating. It's easy to notice what's wrong. The socks on the floor. The tone in their voice. The missed appointment. But when your focus shifts only to what your spouse does wrong, you stop seeing what they do right. And constant criticism is one of the fastest ways to erode love. I remember a couple in Dublin, Nina and Daniel. Nina admitted, "I didn't even realize how often I criticized him until he said, 'Do you ever notice when I get it right?'" That line stayed with me. Because so many couples fall into this dynamic. One feels unappreciated. The other feels constantly judged. And both feel alone. Here's the truth. People grow where they feel valued, not where they feel shamed. If your spouse feels like they can never do enough, they stop trying. But if they feel seen, even for small efforts, they bloom. Encouragement is fertilizer for love. Try this. For every correction you feel tempted to give, offer 2 affirmations instead. Say, "Thank you for helping with dinner tonight, even if the kitchen's still messy." Say, "I love the way you made our daughter laugh." Appreciation isn't about ignoring problems, it's about balancing the view. When your spouse feels appreciated, they feel safe. And when people feel safe, they show up with more love. 8. Thinking divorce could never happen to you. One of the quietest dangers in marriage is believing you're immune to failure. That divorce only happens to other people, people who cheat, who scream, who stop loving. But the truth is, many marriages end not with drama, but with drifting, not with hatred, but with slow disconnection that was never addressed. And the belief that "we're fine" keeps couples from doing the work when it matters most. I once met a man named George in Seattle. He was heartbroken after his wife asked for a separation. "I thought we were solid," he said. "Sure, we weren't romantic anymore, but we didn't fight. We still had dinner together." But his wife had been quietly aching for years, wishing for affection, longing to be seen. She had given subtle signals. But George thought they were safe, until they weren't. Believing your marriage can't fail is like assuming your car doesn't need gas because it's still moving. Every relationship needs fuel. Every love story needs maintenance. Taking your partner for granted, even unknowingly, is one of the fastest paths to emotional distance. So instead of assuming "we're good," ask, "How can I love you better lately?" Check in. Show up. Keep choosing your partner, even when life feels routine. No one is immune, but every couple can be intentional. 9. Refusing to apologize first. Apologizing doesn't mean you're wrong about everything. It means you care more about the relationship than being right. But for many couples, pride sneaks in quietly. You wait for them to say sorry first. You replay the argument in your mind, convinced you were justified. Meanwhile, the silence stretches, and the hurt deepens. I remember a couple from Oslo, Jonas and Lee. After a small disagreement, they didn't speak for 3 days. Not because they were angry, but because both were waiting for the other to make the first move. "I didn't want to look weak," Jonas told me, "but I hated every minute of that distance." Lee said, "I cried at night. But I didn't know how to break the ice. Sound familiar? The irony is, both were hurting, but neither wanted to appear vulnerable. And yet, vulnerability is exactly what love requires. Being the first to apologize isn't weakness, it's leadership. It says, our connection matters more to me than my ego. Even if you only own 10% of the conflict. Take ownership of that 10%. Say, I'm sorry for my part. I want to fix this. That small act has the power to melt walls, soften hearts, and invite healing. Don't let silence win. Be the one who bridges the gap. 10. Forgetting to dream together. Marriage isn't just about surviving, it's about building a shared life worth living. When couples stop dreaming together, life becomes a list of responsibilities instead of a journey of meaning. You start living parallel lives, efficient, practical, but uninspired. The connection dims not because of a lack of love, but a lack of vision. I met Rachel and Sam in Vancouver, celebrating their 20th anniversary. When I asked what kept their marriage strong, Rachel smiled and said, "We still dream together." Whether it was planning a road trip, starting a garden, or imagining their retirement cottage by the sea, they always had something to look forward to as a team. It gives us a reason to stay connected, Sam added, and a future to walk toward hand in hand. Dreaming doesn't have to mean big vacations or life-changing moves. It can be as simple as talking about what brings you joy. Making a bucket list over coffee. Asking, what's something new we could try this year? When you dream together, you remind each other that your love still has momentum, still has energy, still has hope. So dream, even if life is busy, even if money is tight. Keep imagining together, because shared dreams keep the heart of a marriage beating strong. Conclusion: love doesn't die, it drifts. Marriages rarely crumble overnight. They fade quietly when we stop noticing each other. But the beauty is, if we can drift apart, we can also drift back, on purpose. With one small choice, one soft word, one moment of reaching out. So don't wait for the crisis. Don't wait until love feels like a memory. Start today. Water what matters. Speak what's true. Choose your person again, and again, and again. Because love, when tended, never really leaves. It just waits to be awakened. If you found this video meaningful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. If you're facing unresolved challenges in your own marriage, we invite you to share your story in the comments below. We read every message, and we hope our words of encouragement will give you the strength to keep going. Even on the hardest days, we're here with you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next episode.